Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Good. Thank God.
You're watching the USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. Paradise in NorCal, Seaside playing host to Monterey Bay and New Mexico United. The Western Conference standing shows New Mexico with the most remaining points available. 15 games played, 3 in hand on Orange County. Monterey Bay at the bottom of the standings. Start picking up results now, or the top 8 will simply fade away. Good evening, everyone. With Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Mike Watts. Monterey Bay has struggled on the road, but at home, pretty decent squad. New Mexico United has so many points available to them. They've got a big task in front of them tonight. They've never won here if they want to continue to move up the Western ladder.
It's going to be a challenge for New Mexico in terms of the mindset for Dennis Sanchez, not allowing complacency to creep in, because you can look at the form and say Monterey Bay, 4 losses, one draw in their last 5 matches, so we should walk out with 3 points. But it's not only a challenge against Monterey Bay, it's a challenge in terms of the mindset for New Mexico, so it sets up for an intriguing match.
New Mexico United hasn't lost in nearly 3 months. This is a group unbeaten in their last 9.
For Dennis Sanchez, he's done a wonderful job for New Mexico, showing them successful ways to find out results, whether it is individual skill, whether it's playing a little bit more direct than natural, but we also seen them show the ability to grind results out and come together when they're not playing their best. That's what was on display against Colorado Springs last time. This team is full of confidence.
2 years ago, New Mexico knocked out of the playoffs by Dennis Sanchez's Las Vegas Lights. Sanchez jumps the fence, comes to Albuquerque, and since that time, the 4th winningest coach in the USL Championship with the best possession percentage in the league. Perhaps closer to winning a trophy than ever before, but a player like Greg Hurst could put them over the hump.
Greg Hurst does just so much for this New Mexico side, whether it is dropping down and being part of the build-out phase, progressing the ball higher up the field, but ultimately he's going to be judged at finding the back of the net, the ability to score goals with his right foot, his left foot, with his head. He can do a little bit of everything. Look for him to put a lot of pressure on Monterey Bay and that back line if New Mexico wants to pick up points on the road.
Monterey Bay has 4 consecutive defeats, Ricky, but each by a singular goal, close but no cigar.
They've been competitive, and you and I had the ability to speak with Alex Covello, and he's actually been really pleased with their performances, but now those performances need to translate into results. For Monterey Bay, they need to be a little bit more efficient in both boxes because this team is leaking goals, but it's an opportunity against one of the big dogs in the Western Conference to create some momentum.
Sebastian Leggett being asked to carry not only a leadership load, but also a big one on the field, former U.S. international.
So influential for Monterey Bay because he can do a little bit of everything all over the field. Off the ground, covers a lot of ground. On the ball, can find that final ball, can score goals. Winning that midfield battle is going to be crucial for Monterey Bay, so Sebastian Leggett needs to be the best player on the field.
Vital game for Monterey Bay and Sebastian Leggett tonight to try and turn their season around against a New Mexico team who, for whatever reason, they seem to have their number here in Seaside. New Mexico continues to battle in the top 4. Monterey Bay trying to get out of the basement. Next on CBS Sports Network. The USL Championship on CBS Sports is presented by Best Western. They take the field in Seaside, California. Cardinale Stadium, home to Monterey Bay, who arrive in a 4-2-3-1 under head coach Alex Covello. They've made 4 changes, continuing to chop and change.
Winning that midfield battle is always going to be crucial with the way that Alex Covello likes to play through the line. So Nakamura and Ross need to do a good job at staying at home, allowing Montez to push a little bit higher because Sebastian Leggett is going to have the freedom to go and search again. We talked about his ability to find that final ball. That's where Leggett and Paul have the ability to really push pressure on New Mexico's back line. Look for Dennis Sanchez and this New Mexico side. We talked about the versatility. Yes, they can play a little bit more direct, but this team is at their best when Jabang and Zico Bailey are pulling the strings from a deep line position. Zico Bailey's going to drop a little bit deeper, so Jabang's going to have the ability to be box to box. Valentino Noel, get him on the ball. More often than not, success will happen through the 21 of New Mexico.
Greg Hurst, leading scorer for New Mexico United. He won the 2021 League One final, trying to help New Mexico United in his 4th season with the club get over the hump and find silverware for the first time. Sebastian Leggett and Monterey Bay, can they turn the tide, or is it simply too late? 10 points off the line, 11 games to go. The sunset may be arriving sooner than anticipated in Seaside. Monterey Bay will get the first touch tonight. Mark Verso, the referee. Christian Nava overeager. Mark Verso, a stickler for the rule. Let's play on this Saturday night. No.
Not yet.
They didn't even move the ball 5 yards. Let's do that soccer. Underway on CBS Sports Network. Monterey Bay hosting New Mexico United. Don't you hate when that happens? You start your watch, the 90-minute clock, and all of a sudden you have to reset it twice, and now you've got thousands of people staring at you.
Start sweating, get a little bit nervous.
Fortunately, Mark not well-versed in resetting the watch in high-intensity situations. Rolled out by Chris Shakes. Zico Bailey. Turned it over to the crisp and kelp Monterey Bay. Back from Zach Farnsworth. Kieran Dalton, who starts for the second time this year. Came on for the injured Jacob Jackson last week, and Dalton retains the shirt tonight. First foul belongs to Christian Nava.
2 minutes in, you just see both of these teams wanting to press extremely high and make the opposition really uncomfortable. So breaking that initial line of pressure is going to be crucial, whether it is playing through. This time Glasgow doing a good job at having Nava overcommit and drawing a foul. It's going to be a big emphasis on both of these center backs for these two teams. How clean can they be at playing through the back?
Jabang. Beyond Elliott. To Monterey Bay's credit this season, Jordan Stewart in command as the manager until April 29th. It wasn't working out again. They brought in a lot of inexperience and young players to their roster. They decide Alex Covello can help them into the future in a different way. Arrives from San Jose. His 13th match now as head coach. 4 wins out of 5 between May 23rd and June 20th. The results have plateaued, Ricky, but they've made a lot of changes within this roster to try and inject more talent and continue to build not only a potential miracle run to the playoffs this year, but put themselves in a far better position moving forward.
Look, it's not going to be perfect for Monterey Bay, nor should anyone expect it to be, but the most important thing for Alex Covello and ownership is that there's foundation being laid down for this side and continuing to get better and better. He's done a good job at creating an identity, giving this Monterey Bay side a little bit more bite in the attacking phase of play.
Jake LaCava prods it away. Corner to Monterey Bay. Service toward the front post. A lot of traffic. Well, if you can't beat him, ask him to join you. That's the case for Dennis Sanchez after his Las Vegas Lights 2 years ago knocked New Mexico out of the playoffs, and with one of the smallest budgets in the league, turned them into a real contender. Lashed off target by Nick Ross.
And right now, New Mexico struggling to deal with how aggressive Monterey Bay is sitting. Notice 4 players sitting on top of the 18-yard box. So if you are this back line, you have to recognize that, and there's nothing wrong with playing a little bit more direct into your front line.
Monterey Bay causing some early issues for New Mexico. Searching for service. Nava didn't know what was behind him, didn't want to find out. Remarkable story, Christian Nava. ACL injuries, back-to-back seasons, practically didn't play for 2.5 years. Announced his retirement. His friends begged him to play some pickup soccer in Colorado. That made him at least think he could come back to New Mexico. Mark Verso doesn't want this game to move too quick tonight.
You see what Monterey Bay is trying to do. Surround Shakes and throw a lot of numbers right in front of that goal mouth.
Corner Monterey Bay. That will leak wide. Last touched by New Mexico. Hamalainen among a number of players that leapt up for it. I think Kip Keller was the one who got the last touch.
Winning your individual duel is so important, and I'll tell you what, Elijah Paul is the one to make the initial contact with this ball and head it back down into danger.
3 early corners, again loose at the edge of the 6-yard box. Sent back, across the face of goal. Perhaps that would have gone in if untouched by a Monterey Bay player in front. And Hurst launches upfield. Nava squares, really enticing for New Mexico. It's Valentin Noel! Valentin Noel opens the scoring for New Mexico. Quick strike off the corner.
We mentioned it in the open mic, how influential Greg Hurst is for New Mexico, not only scoring goals, but in the build-out phase. And this is what starts it all. The ability to recognize that Monterey Bay has thrown a lot of numbers forward, so that leaves space going back the other way. You put it into space, you allow your teammates to go out and run. Nava understands, comes centrally. Valentin Noel, really clever movement to push wide, and then such a composed finish to go low and hard to that near post to beat Dalton. Transitional football at its finest for New Mexico, 1-0 in enemy territory.
They've never won in Seaside, but this is as good a start as they've ever had here. Valentin Noel opens the scoring for New Mexico. If you're Monterey Bay, you were causing turnovers, winning corners. You look at the scoreboard and you're already down.
And it's those little things for Alex Covello and Monterey Bay that you need to be cleaner in both boxes. You should never concede a goal when it's your attacking corner kick. You have to stop the play at its origin, but also get numbers behind the ball.
Throw to LaCava, who's out with appendicitis, took him out of the lineup for a while. Starts for the 6th time tonight. Swept ahead and catching the edge. Leslie Leggett throws down Hämäläinen, offers a shot that soars above the bar.
Really well done here from Leggett to feel the pressure from Hämäläinen and just take this swooping touch, and now it's all about pace. A little bit of a shoulder shrug to fend off the defender, but you can be a little bit more aggressive here. You can take a 2nd or 3rd touch and get closer to goal. But it's also 2v1, so if you can bring in Kip Keller, you have Elijah Paul wide open at top of the 6. Good opportunity for Monterey Bay.
Leggett, 3rd team in the last 2 seasons, from Loudoun to Charleston. Played in all 20 games now for Monterey Bay this year. It was a late season push for Charleston to add some attacking firepower late last season, and then transferred just 3 months later in December out to Monterey Bay. Numbers are concerning, to say the least, for Monterey Bay. 10 losses and a draw, conceding first. New Mexico has 6 of their 8 wins this year when they score the opening goal. And from Glasgow. Nakamura.
Great touch.
Wonderful. Across. Deflected away. Elijah Paul in front of goal. Turned aside.
Wonderful touch from Glasgow here. Notice how he baits in LaCava and then changes the pace, but then to have the whereabouts to pick up his head. New Mexico's back line is dropping, so Elijah Paul just holds his run. Doesn't hit it as cleanly as he would like, but another really strong action going forward for Monterey Bay.
Hämäläinen, the one to the rescue. Elijah Paul denied potentially his 5th goal this year. You do hear the occasional 4-legged friend bark at the park night at Monterey Bay this evening. It's been a fascinating case study in which people have which dogs.
Saw a dolphin as well.
I don't understand what the connection was with the dolphin, if I'm being honest.
You and I both.
Flick through. This is offside. The crazy thing, you let Elijah Paul run onto that, he would have been onside, and you could have allowed that play to continue.
You need to be smarter there. If you are Wesley Leggett, you have to be aware of where you are on the field. If you just let this ball be Elijah Paul, it's in on a 1v1.
Floated in behind. Is there more danger here? Quia turned away by Dalton.
Again, you just see Greg Hurst dropping deeper, being part of having the ability to play in between lines. We could push as high in between both center backs. And just such a really good understanding between the two players high up the field for New Mexico.
Breaking free, it's Elijah Paul. Cuts inside of Keller. Paul squares, turning Leggett. That is a corner. Well, you can't knock the aggressiveness of Monterey Bay at the outset.
But for Dennis Sanchez in New Mexico, you need to be a little bit better defensively, because right now you're leaving your two center backs isolated in 1v1 situations. Elijah Paul and Wesley Leggett having a lot of success at beating Malainen and Keller. See, this action does not come to fruition in the end. Gloucester doing a good job at dropping down. But Monterey Bay finding success at playing past that midfield line of New Mexico.
Monterey Bay is aimed for the front post on each corner and made first contact a few times already. First time they've taken from this corner of the field. Leggett. Held up by Elliott. Leggett. Make that Glasgow. Look around the stadium tonight and don't tell me that that's not an effort to find a dog just like you. And so well behaved. Seat 31 going to sit in seat 31.
This is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that. Headphones for a dog?
I mean, the problem is a lot of these venues will more often than not play the doorbell sound, and you don't want that for your animal. Hurst will catch up to this. Attendance will be announced in humans, but whoever's been here this year has largely seen pretty good soccer, all considered. They're a 500 club at home. The problem has been on the road, where they have yet to win and only taken 2 points from 10 games. The perils of a young team. Upfield from Paul.
So good from Zico Bailey there. Drop down to his defensive duties and pick the pocket of Sebastian Leggett. And he's a player that Dennis Sanchez raved about in terms of his progression and his growth over the last couple of months here.
Decent read from Farnsworth. He came forward, but Noel whittles out of it. Back from Keller. Here's Shakes. Credit to Dennis Sanchez. I don't know it's the most popular decision making the switch from one of the league's all-time greats. Shakes has been up to it. Paul. Now through. Leggett. Denied. Shakes. Hurst trying to play a two-man game through midfield. Slips it between the legs of the defender. Flights the cross. And the flying Scotsman collides into Paul.
Good rotation on the top line for Monterey Bay. Notice Sebastian Leggett, his movement, as he understands Elijah Paul requires so much attention. Let me just run in behind, but you need to be more composed at picking out a corner here. Straight at Shakes, easy save, and then Greg Hurst knows exactly what he's doing. Just goes through the back Elijah Paul to foul every single day of the week. But Greg Hurst, 15 minutes in, and a really strong showing from the Scotsman.
You're impressed seeing a different skill set from him than you'd seen in the past.
Well, we're also seeing this year Greg Hurst play deeper, right? So he's getting a lot more of the ball. He's pulling the strings a little bit more. Watch out.
Well, it was a decent first touch, but not able to fully corral it.
New Mexico right now playing with fire across this back line. For Dennis Sanchez, you need to communicate to either Zico Bailey or Jabang to drop deeper and just help out, because they are isolated against this Monterey Bay attacking unit.
Lura forward. There's Dalton. It's part of Rutgers' years-long rebuild. Has them in really good place after he graduated last year. I'd anticipate Rutgers will be right near the top of the Big Ten this year. 22-year-old rookie from New York. It's his second start tonight. Turned over in midfield. Montez. Back from Ross. Jack kept it moving. Glasgow sneaking in behind. Montez got held at the beginning of his run outside the penalty area. And a yellow card for denying a potential real chance for Monterey Bay.
Clever run from Montez as he recognizes that Jabang is caught ball watching. So just runs in behind, and as the center midfielder knows he's beat, has to pull a little bit of a tug of the jersey. About 19 yards out. It's a clever ball, good run from Montez, and a brilliant opportunity here for Monterey Bay to put pressure on New Mexico's goal.
Sixth yellow card this year for Ousmane Jabang, who was with Dennis Sanchez in Las Vegas a couple of years ago. Joined him in crossing the divide to New Mexico. Well, there's only one who can stand over the ball in this scenario. Really tight quarters for Sebastian Leggett to get this up and down. Or you play this across. Leggett. He had the right idea. Shakes, crashes into the post.
Such a difficult technique to get it to go up and over the wall and really challenge the goalkeeper here, but Shake sees it the whole way. Notice a little bit of a step before Leggett makes contact with the ball. No nonsense goalkeeping to push it up and over his crossbar.
Leggett, the ensuing corner. Shakes this time, comes out to make a clean catch. Sebastian Leggett spending the last decade in Major League Soccer, and coming to Monterey Bay is maybe the coup signing of the offseason. The 33-year-old played 21 games for Dallas in all competitions last year. Not Atletico Dallas, FC Dallas. Which is to say, not Chicharito's club.
What a signing that was made.
Waves. Shakes. Jabang. Rolls out tomorrow, 4 Eastern. Catch more pitch play. The Boston Legacy hosts Sophia Wilson and the Portland Thorns. An NWSL showdown right here on CBS Sports Network. Boston working their way back toward the playoff picture after that 0-5 start to their season. And Portland, as ever, competing in the top 4. Bounces through for Noel. Appeal for a handball. Farnsworth playing it off cool.
It's the first time that we've seen New Mexico play more direct, because you're inviting just so many numbers of Monterey Bay. So that leaves this back line really exposed. So you need to hit that ball more often if you are Dennis Sanchez. You bait them in to step up, and then you allow Greg Hurst and Quia to stay as high as they possibly can to be the outlet.
Leggett. Farnsworth. Glasgow. Spent last year on loan to Loudon. He coughed it up. And speaking with Dennis Sanchez, I think the biggest question coming into this year was, how do we have more balance? They've had the highest possession in USL over the last 2 seasons. Well, how do you convert that to more goals? How do you ensure that you continue to evolve? And that means playing the long ball when it's on a little bit more as well.
And just look at the way that they score a goal, right? Understanding that you can play direct, you get closer to the goal, and then you allow your special players be the difference makers that they are. So understanding decision making for, especially in this game, the center backs is going to be crucial. That yes, we do want to be a team that wants to progress through the lines, but it is okay to play more vertical into our top line quicker.
To be fair, I think that first goal gave me a strain to my neck. From one end to the other, 100 yards in a flash. The opening goal to Valentin Noel after successfully defending a set piece. New Mexico went the other way, scored in transition. Awkward giveaway, LaCava. Hurst stayed in on the final blade of white grass, and Hurst paid a price for that. He's down. Flighted out to Keller. Back from Gloucester. Montez, only signed this week through the end of the season, comes from the Belgian 3rd Division, full Nicaraguan international. Made his debut, 72 minutes, a 1-0 loss at El Paso midweek. Alex Mendez, the winner for the Locomotive. Monterey Bay held the one singular shot on target. Ushered through by Paul. Siegwu continued to push, but New Mexico turn it away and push upfield. Advantage played to Christian Nava. Got the secondary assist of sorts on that transition goal.
It's a little bit too early there from Nava. When you have a 2v1 and you are the ball carrier, your first priority is to engage a defender, and then you play the ball.
Montez. Elijah Paul. There's Leggett behind. Paul bangs off Nava. And Nava is down. Grabbing at his left leg. I spoke to Christian Nava this week on USL All Access, SiriusXM FC's weekly show. It's also on the USL YouTube page. He spoke about how important his mom, Martha, was in helping him find himself again, deal with the injuries, the 2 ACL tears that he suffered, and helping to prod him back into the pro game. Dennis Sanchez told us this week he first saw Nava as just a youngster on an academy deal with New Mexico against Charleston while he was an assistant coach a number of years ago, and texted his sporting director, who was that kid? They made a phone call, said, is he available? Hard no. He's one of the most exciting young talents in the league, and just to see him on the field again, it's one of the great stories of this season.
It's just incredible. Unfortunately, I've had the experience of tearing an ACL, so I know exactly what it entails to get back, not only mentally but physically. right? Your body can be sometimes even stronger coming back, but it's having the trust to say, if I do make this pivot, that's a really good ball here.
It is, but it's sniffed out by Dalton.
And well done from Dalton, but having the trust in your body saying that if I make a turn here, if I pivot here, my knee is gonna stay with my body. To not only do it once, but do it twice. That is just a testament to the strength, the mentality, but also to come back and produce at a really high level for Christian Nava. Just hats off. Incredible story.
13th game in the league this year. His first start back was in the Open Cup, and he scored a late game winner. Spoke about patience. He spoke about never taking this for granted again. He gets to play in front of 10,000 plus in New Mexico who just adore the local product. Nava the one picking this forward for Noel. Noel did run out of real estate this time. Oh, it's amazing, the fan support in New Mexico, some of the best at any level in American soccer. And to have someone that they view as their own, I think makes it just a little more special.
Not only fans, but knowledgeable fans, educated fans that really understand the game. That when this New Mexico side is not doing things up to their standard, they're going to let the players know. Dennis Sanchez continues to talk about the pressure that it takes with this job. It's just a wonderful club in USL Championship, and no coincidence why they are always at the top of the Western Conference.
They sit fourth right now. They were third coming into the week. Results push them down one position, but 2 games in hand on third place, 3 games in hand on Orange County in first. They have the most available points of any team in the Western Conference. And that is the focus. If you can win the West in the regular season and play all your matches at home, as Tulsa earned the right last year, maybe New Mexico United could lift at the end of the year. Conference championship, or that USL Championship final. The Shield might be a far-fetched effort given that the Rowdies picked up an enormous win last week against Louisville, that 5-4 instant classic.
Another big test for Tampa Bay, playing at Orange County right now, 0-0 in the 28th minute.
That's one of the best games of the championship season thus far. And here's the thing, if you're Tampa Bay and you win that game, you move 3 games clear of everybody. And if you don't, all of a sudden Orange County is within a game of you. It's also a case where you only play teams in the opposite conference once. So that'll be the tiebreaker if the Shield were to come down to that.
We've seen this about what he's doing. He's pulling out, whether it is a center back or a defensive midfielder of Monterey with him. And that opens up space. This time it's Jabang recognizing it and making that vertical run. Another good ball here.
Elijah Paul, dangerous throughout this first half. Drops down to Leggett. Got bobbled by Shakes. Comes up high to Glasgow. Could he have a go? That got blocked. Careens out to Nakamura. Glasgow couldn't settle it, but Paul did. Leggett off of Keller.
This near side is a point of emphasis for Monterey Bay, knowing that Jake Lakava is not a natural right back, so he's getting caught out of position time and time again. Again, if you are Sebastian Leggett, you need to pick out a corner. That is the second time that you struck this ball straight at Shakes. There is a little bit of spillage there, but need to be better.
Off the corner, still loose. Ball nearly brought down by Montez, but will skim over him. Bailey, Nakamura, Hamalainen getting involved, a little frustration. New Mexico has been, no pun intended, a little shaky on these set pieces.
And not having the ability to win your individual duels, but also this ball is popping around the top of the 6-yard box. You need to clear this ball up and away, or Shakes needs to command that part of his box and come off of his line. Because it's about the 4th or 5th corner that Sebastian Leggett has hit the same area, causing some issues for New Mexico.
Off kilter for Jabang to handle. Montez trying to push the pace. Foul from New Mexico.
Already on a yellow card, Jabang needs to be careful with his decision making, how he goes into challenges. As he comes through the back of Elijah Ball.
Leggett. Monterey Bay conceded in the 6th minute. Continuing to try and find that equalizer. Montez did really well. Give and go with Leggett. Pops this across. Off that of Gloucester. And behind Agwu. That service, couldn't get it away. Montez squares. Toward frame and in! Monterey Bay pulls level. Hugo Nakamura, his first goal in the championship.
Deservingly for Monterey Bay to draw even in the 32nd minute. But this is all about Montez, his decision-making. Notice how he gets this ball cut under his feet so quickly, puts into the path of Nakamura, but this is just pure composure from Nakamura. How quickly that first touch sets him up to pick out a corner. Does not need to go for power, goes for placement from this distance and kisses that side net. No chance for Shakes. 1-1 here at Cardinale Stadium.
It's a deserved equalizer for Monterey Bay, and Nakamura has pulled Monterey Bay on level terms. And New Mexico United is certainly in for a fight tonight. Every single goal this year has been in tight quarters for Monterey Bay, all inside the penalty area. And New Mexico has just looked a little loose in front of goal tonight. That easily could have been turned away multiple times in the lead up.
We've talked about it about 5 or 6 times that they have not been convincing whatsoever, New Mexico, defending their own box. And we can talk about X and O's and game plan and everything, but that is just pure will at winning your individual battle. So if you are Dennis Sanchez at halftime, you need to address this. Because right now, it's not a matter of tactics. It's about wants and effort in terms of defending your own box.
And that hasn't been lacking over this 4-game win streak, 6-game unbeaten streak within the league. Outside to Nava. Lacava.
I would also notice this near side of your screen where Monterey Bay is attacking a lot. For Alex Cavello, he recognizes that Jake Lacava is not a natural right back. So a lot of times he's getting caught out of position. That is why we're seeing Glasgow push really high. We're seeing a lot of runs from Elijah Paul from inside out. And a point of emphasis is to really penetrate the right side of Mexico's defensive line.
Streaming by Hamalainen. Paul got turned away. Paul got slew-footed by Bailey.
Really good work from Elijah Paul. He's been very active. Ability to hold up play, link up play. 4 goals. He's a player that Alex Cavello says he continues to get better and better every single time he steps on the field.
Paul came into the league as a 16-year-old, never played a league game with Phoenix on his academy contract. Went on to college at Washington and drafted by Real Salt Lake. Spinning cross, Shakes with the take. Nakamura, who scored the equalizer erase Noel, only to see Jabang retain possession for New Mexico. Monterey Bay is right on the verge of the danger zone. 10 points out of the playoffs with 11 remaining. Typically, when there's more points between you and your target than games remaining, starts to become, in a word, a lost cause. This is their 20th game out of 30 in the regular season tonight. And all 4 of their wins came in a 1-month span. Unfortunately, that month ended on June 20th. Not that I'd ever bet against Oliver Weiss and what he's done previously at Orange County, and then he went to USL HQ and worked on the USL to Europe pipeline and helping guide transfer policy within the league before taking over at Monterey Bay at the top of their soccer infrastructure.
Look, there's pieces definitely for this Monterey Bay side. Individual talent, no question whatsoever. Now can they gel together and collectively push in the same direction? Because look, through 37 minutes, you can argue that Monterey Bay has been the better side, more threatening of the opponent's goal. But for Alex Cavell, it's those little details that lack, and that is why they continue to drop points. And there's a little sense of frustration because the performances have been there.
Farnsworth. Thanks of Atoya, Barajas, Elliott, Montez, all new to the fold the last month or so. New Mexico, never afraid to play, regardless of the traffic. A little frustration arriving for New Mexico.
Just no movement ahead of the ball, because we've seen Bailey and Jabang continue to drop down, but Valentin Noel, Greg Hurst, Nava, we are staying extremely high. There's just simply no connection right now between that midfield line and front line of New Mexico.
He didn't score a goal, but maybe the most impactful player this half, Elijah Paul.
His work rate has been phenomenal. Right, continuing to put pressure on the 2 center backs, making their life difficult, leading the line, setting the press. He's done everything that you want your number 9 to do.
Got all twisted around, but Gloucester will get to it. I mean, I'm not one to pick who we put on the travel map at halftime, but he's next.
Again, notice the center of your screen, just a massive void with no New Mexico presence whatsoever. You're Dennis Sanchez, that needs to be Valentin Noel playing in between lines and connecting the game.
Quia got rolled up. And a yellow card.
As Elliott comes through, Quia. That's a swooping motion that catches a striker deserving of a yellow card. Verso gets this one correct. First player in the book for Monterey Bay.
Joins Jabang of New Mexico, who, to be fair, committed a nice little foul at the end of that, but after the whistle, of course. Elliott's 6th appearance coming over from Crew 2 in MLS Next Pro. We're at that point in the year where if you're an MLS team and you're in Leagues Cup and you've already sort of decided how you're going to move your minutes, sometimes the best place for a talent that's clearly stepped beyond Next Pro but not in that mix, time to get them out on loan. If you're in the championship and you're out of USL Cup and you've got some guys that might need minutes, League One.
100%.
This is that moment.
And this is a lot of times where we see clubs really make pushes in their respective conferences. Great ball.
Wonderful in behind. The save from Shakes. Brilliant. Paul follows. Shakes again. No questioning his shot stopping tonight. Shakes is up for it. Big double save.
But the quality of ball from Montez, phenomenal to thread this pass through a tight window.
Monterey Bay loads up again.
The vision, the execution here from Montez to push this ball right into the path of Sebastian Lletget. But the initial save and the secondary save from Shakes, how good is that? Full extension. Notice how quickly he gets up to set his feet as well. And then makes himself big to deny Elijah Paul at the doorstep. Back-to-back, really good saves from Shakes.
Outstanding. Split time last year with Alex Tembakis, the championship's all-time saves leader. I asked Dennis Sanchez why the switch last year and then full-time this year. Said there's an intuition and a feel to it. But he was hungry. Great positivity. That rolls wide at Dalton, will be a corner. Shakes has lived up to it. Nava will handle the set piece. New Mexico conceding just the third goal in the last 6 games. They're scoring in the 6th minute off a defensive set piece on the other end. Nakamura equalized in the 32nd. New Mexico pulled ahead before the break. Nava delivers. Dalton, the flight of that may have had him a tag confused. Noel. Bailey curls across. Header above the bar. How in the world did Keller rise so much higher than everybody else?
Times his jump to perfection, Keller. Good ball lifted to the back post from Zico Bailey. But left side of your screen, the ability to time his jump right now. Bypass about 3 Monterey Bay defenders. Really tight angle to squeeze it in and really test Dalton. But always a aerial threat Kip Keller is.
Well, that was a convenient trip and fall. Service dealt with by Shakes. Big diagonal switch.
But we haven't seen that for Monterey Bay whatsoever, whether it is Samalaylan or Kip Keller. You push higher up the field and notice how much closer you are to the attacking goal. It's simple, it's effective, and most importantly, it pins Monterey Bay back and now allows New Mexico to get on the ball and play the possession that they want to.
Good thievery from Amari Glasgow. And he got tossed by Nava.
Can't do that. I'm gonna see yellow here.
Alex Covello thinks so. Yep.
A little bit of frustration shown from Nava. Gives the ball over a little bit too cheaply. Glasgow doing a good job, but notice when the ball's gone, right foot comes across. Second player in the book for New Mexico, right in front of refereeing crew and Alex Covello. There's simply no need.
Nava and Jabang on yellow cards now for New Mexico. we've gotten to the point of the season in the discipline report that we've gotten to how far are players away from the 1-game suspension for 8 yellows. We've moved past listing the 5 games. 2 added minutes here at the end of the half. You never got suspended for yellow cards, did you?
Never.
No. Red cards?
Maybe in my academy days.
Okay. But then you just put on a different number and and all of a sudden you're Ricky Lopez
Espinoza, Espin Lopez.
Yep.
Maybe throw on a headband as well, have a little bit of a disguise.
Sure.
Yeah.
The Bobby Valentine shades in the back of the dugout. I've been cautioned as a commentator at a game, but I've never been sent off.
Wait, you have?
I mean, not by a referee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you must have done something.
I've told people have told me to stop talking. But Leggett. Fell out of the air right to him. He can take this space. Glasgow. Motors past Nava, delivers the cross off of Bailey. Leggett circulates. Service, Glasgow. There are 2 waiting.
There's been a real commitment for Monterey Bay to get numbers in the attacking third. Whether it is Leggett, Leggett, Elijah Paul, for Alex Covello, you need to be really pleased with what you've seen from your side. The response after going down in the 6th minute, but also just dominating the game, especially through the run of play. Really good showing from Monterey Bay.
Intensity is a non-negotiable, Alex Covello said when he first arrived at Monterey Bay. And you can certainly see that in the way they played the first half. In a game they really need to start picking up points. They're at the brink of their season. Strong performance. They give up a poor goal on one end and respond by capitalizing finally on the other. Shake's critical double save keeps New Mexico on level terms going into halftime. Nakamura scored in the 32nd, Noel in the 6th. And the fans and their furry friends have gotten quite a performance here in the first 45 minutes. Jacob Montes gets the assist on the Nakamura goal and joins us from the field. It's Mike Watson, Ricky Lopez, Espin in the booth. Thoughts on that first half performance from your group?
I mean, I thought it was a really, really good first half. A lot of energy from us. High press is working really well. Unfortunate to concede the first goal, but I think the mentality of the group to bounce back was exceptional. So we're going to look to build on that in the second half and hopefully come out with the W.
Jacob, there's been a really good relationship with you and Sebastian in terms of the interchange and movement. Just how fun is it to play with a player of that quality?
Oh, it's amazing, to be honest. I mean, Sebastian, obviously, his resume speaks for itself. So just even coming into practice and being able to share the pitch with him it's an honor. And, yeah, I think we understand each other really well. And, yeah, like I said, it's an honor to play with him. And hopefully his quality can make a difference in the second half.
Well, it's been an honor to watch you play. You've had a great start. Wishing you well. Thanks for the time. Kelpie and a Dolphin? I thought it was dog night. It's 1-1 between Monterey Bay and New Mexico. USL on CBS Sports presented by Best Western. Halftime next. USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. That has to be one of the most interesting mascots in all soccer. Nemo! I found Nemo! He's a clownfish. Where's he hiding?
Enemy.
Monterey Bay 1, New Mexico 1. That is not Nemo, but we did find maybe the biggest star to ever grace the USL Championship. Chicharito is coming to Atletico Dallas as their first signing.
An announcement that is going to be impactful not only for USL but the world. You're talking about a player that has scored over 200 professional goals, that has played with the biggest clubs in the world: Chivas, Man United, Real Madrid, Leverkusen, West Ham, LA Galaxy, Sevilla. The list goes on and on. Not only what he's going to bring on the field, but the standard off the field. What a fantastic signing this is for Atletico Dallas.
Peter Luxon, their head coach, Brian Corcoran, their sporting director, glowing about how Javier Chicharito Hernandez has already come in and started to place a new level of expectation around the incoming USL Championship club next year. I will come back with more Dolphin facts.
It's a good boy there.
10 out of 10. It's 1-1 at halftime.
The rest of the afternoon, all right? Give them one more warm round of applause. See them during Car Week. I'm sure they're very busy down there on Broadway.
NBFC will be back in action on Saturday, August 29th against Sacramento Republic. Back to school night, presented by Montage Health. Was the first 3,000 fans received from Delgado or Sebastian Jet Powerhead. Tickets visit MontereyBayFC.com. NBFC volverá a la acción el sábado 29 de agosto contra el Sacramento Republic a la noche de regreso a clases, presentada por Montage Health. Además, los primeros 3,000 aficionados recibirán un Powerhead de Fernando Delgado o Sebastian Jet. Para adquirir entradas, visite MontereyBayFC.com. Tonight's merch after the match is the New York Kicks. $79 in our merch locations today.
All right, guys. One of my favorite things to do here is our Alvarado Street Brewery Soccer Shuffle. I have my friend John here. Hello, John. He is going to be playing Soccer Shuffle. And he's going to be playing for our friends in N5. If you're an N5 and John wins, you guys are going home with Alvarado Street Brewery vouchers for a free appetizer at any of their locations. So y'all need to help John, okay, so they can win. And maybe they'll take you with them, okay? All right, y'all, we are ready to get going. You're going to see the crest behind 3 different soccer balls. You're going to watch them get shuffled up, and then we're going to pick a winner. And if you're right, you win, and N5 wins. All right, keep track. Guys, I hope you're paying attention. John will need your help. Free appetizers are on the line. All right, John, 1, 2, 3. Up and out, what do we see? What do we see? John's going with 3. What do we say? Survey says number.
USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. It's Bluey and Bingo. Da 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 da. And Kelpie. Monterey Bay 1, New Mexico 1 at halftime. We've got it all tonight. There's Dolphins and Dogs Oh My with Ricky Lopez Espin. I'm Mike Watts. Thoughts on that first half? I agree with you. Monterey Bay looked the more threatening team.
If you're Alex Cavell, you're the happier of the two managers in terms of their performance. But for Dennis Sanchez, again, finding ways to stay into games when you're not playing your best. But Monterey Bay was dominant. They were aggressive. They were threatening the opponent's goal. Can they carry that into the second half? That's going to be the question for Monterey Bay.
Let's take a look at first half highlights where it was a major defensive lapse from Monterey Bay. They pay a massive price off a set piece 6 minutes in.
When you throw so many numbers forward, you have to have coverage going back the other way. Good decision from Greg Hurst. You play this ball into space, and then you allow Valentin Noel be what he is, the ability to recognize it and then have the composure to go low and hard to beat Dalton at that near post. New Mexico, they take the lead against the run of play, but you knew that Monterey Bay, with the amount of pressure that they continue to put on, that they were going to find a way back into this game. This is really well done from Montez. The ball stuck under his feet, quickly gets it out. But notice the amount of time it takes from Nakamura to take that first touch to find that bottom corner. Nothing. Phenomenal strike to draw even.
First goal for Nakamura, first assist for Montez as members of Monterey Bay, and they had a chance to go ahead.
Good ball for Montez. Again, Sebastian Leggett has to be thinking, what does he need to do to beat Shakes? Not one, but two really good saves from Shakes, and he's a big reason why it's 1-1.
This is one of the wildest amalgamations of crowd I've ever seen. Bluey and dogs and dolphins. And Ricky and I will be back in a moment. Second half is next.
And now you see how much fun VIP is. Now these two right up here are our Marriott seat upgrades tonight. They got food and drink included. They get some great cushy seats and a little gift from the Marriott. The Marriott's giving them a room upgrade and a gift card to their restaurant Fit and Field. So thank you, Monterey Marriott. And thank you to our fans who are coming to almost every match. So I've seen them, and I'll see them at many more.
Got it. Yeah, just one.
The travel map is brought to you by Best Western.
Sebastian Lletget has been all over the attacking phase of play. Notice how it's been mostly on this near side because that is where Jake Lakava has been really high. Sebastian Lletget, he's been good on the ball. He's been good at pressing it. That travel mat is similar in that second 45 minutes. Expect success for Monterey Bay in the attacking phase of play.
Well, Sebastian Lletget, Monterey Bay looking for their 5th home win this year. We've got Bluey, Bingo, Bandit, and Chili all watching tonight. It's a big night in Seaside. Win this evening, you could pull within about 2.5 games with 10 remaining. Lose tonight, and suddenly it becomes a very tall hill to climb to have any shot at the first playoff appearance for Monterey Bay in their history. Mark Verso has unfortunately not started anything on time tonight.
We had 3 times the charm in that first half.
Let's play. He's one of the more well-traveled officials in USL Championship, so kudos to him. It's just been one of those nights. Well, I mean, now we're putting his name on the screen. I mean, this poor guy. Trying to ride the challenge, and there's Mark Verso to the fort. It is a free kick to Monterey Bay in a fairly dangerous area of the field.
The strength has definitely been shown from Wesley Leggett. His ability to glide by his individual defender, have the pace as we get confirmation of the sub. Reed Stevens comes in for Christian Nava. Christian Nava really found it difficult to find the tempo, but Reed Stevens going to give you that versatility and be that outlet, especially with how aggressive Monterey Bay has been.
Only the 3rd substitute appearance for Reed Stevens this year. Lletget chips that to the back post. The runs had already elapsed. Lletget gets in front of this. Deflects over. Curling cross. Turned away. Nakamura sent the cross. In Monterey Bay set piece. Monterey Bay 2.5 nearly expected goals in the first half.
Again, picking up right where they left off. Good ball lifted to this back post from Nakamura. He's been really good at the center of this line for Monterey Bay.
Another one. Expected goals in the first half, 2.27 for Monterey Bay, 0.27 for New Mexico. Dennis Sanchez admitted we were out of rhythm in the 1-0 win against Colorado Springs, but pointed to that finding ways to win games, the right mentality. It was a big win. You look in the West, 4th through 8th, 4 points apart. Service across, Shakes dealt with it. Awkwardly perhaps, waved a hand at it. New Mexico trying to run out. Seed another free kick.
Again, struggling New Mexico with the physicality and the ability to just break out of their defensive third. The work rate phenomenal for Monterey Bay, squeezing this game and winning another dangerous set piece. It's not the initial contact from this distance, could be the knockdown.
Last shot for New Mexico was in the 11th minute. Flighted cross again. Monterey Bay has already attempted 18 crosses tonight, more than they average per game. Keller shakes. Ushered through by Noel and goes sliding in to Nakamura. It's a clean challenge. You see it thrust back to Jabang. Paul will get there. Keller will face up. Has support arriving. Spinning away from Lakava, who's featuring at the outside back position. Malik Howell out due to a hamstring injury. Scored the winner last time out against Colorado Springs. Delivery to the backside. Elliott went down. The dog is chanting for a penalty on Quia. Mark Verso disagrees. Crossfield again, Lugette. You watch this Monterey Bay team and tell me that they're bottom of the West.
No way. With how confident, how aggressive they've been. But it just tells you the confidence that Alex Covello has instilled in this group, giving them a real identity on how to approach games.
Elliott across, Shakes came for it. Elijah Paul provided the pressure, corner. I mean, it's stunning, truly. They're 10 points out right now, even if they just picked up 2 wins out of the last 4 where they kept losing by the 1 single goal. You're talking about this would put them a point off the playoff line. That's how tight it is. Lugette again. Chance to take that out of the air. Hammer it wide.
Nick Ross has quietly gone about his business as well. We could continue to talk about Montez, Nakamura, Lugette, the ability to push higher up the field, but it's all because Nick Ross has the ability to stay at home, cover a lot of ground, and put out fires defensively. Provides all those players a lot of coverage. It is a big piece of this attacking and pressing style for Monterey Bay.
Ross off the half volley there. Didn't miss that by much.
Good technique shown as well.
We have seen some unbelievable goals in the championship over the last month. The Micheletto half-field bomb against Eloy Room, the goalkeeper for Curacao at the World Cup.
Even last week as well, Jake Morris.
All the goals in the Louisville-Tampa Bay game last week, all 9.
Russell Cicerone had a couple. My God, we've been spoiled.
There was a viral TikTok that went around of fans that tuned into that Tampa Bay-Louisville game. They thought there was nothing on TV, and they feel like they found the best soccer match ever played. That is Gloucester sending Elliott into the sideline. Elliott saying, if I had latched onto that, real danger, and Gloucester appears to have escaped without a card. There was support gliding behind that probably would have had that coverage.
But it's clever from Gloucester knowing that he's beat, so what he does, he just cuts his angle down and invites a contact of Elliott. Alex Covello in the Monterey Bay bench, really animated.
I mean, Alex Covello almost got taken out. That all landed at his feet. 48-year-old Spaniard, former goalkeeper, born in Barcelona, stint in the Barca Academy, played in the Tercera division in Spain before coming over to the U.S. nearly a decade ago as the Earthquakes Director of Methodology. He's the head coach for Quakes 2. He's the interim in 2022 when Matias Almeida departed the club prior to the arrival of Luchi Gonzalez. There's a ton of professional soccer in this very tight sort of Bay Area window between San Jose and Monterey Bay, Sacramento, and Oakland, all in the championship. You have 5 professional clubs in the top 3 divisions, all within, what, an hour or 2 drive. Dennis Sanchez was running the academy for Sacramento before going to Vegas and eventually New Mexico. Stint on the East Coast in Charleston mixed in. Quia. It's his 4th appearance for New Mexico. Backheeled out by Jabang. That cross found the backside. The save made by Dalton for good measure, but it was offside. You've covered so many Oakland games, I know, over the last few years, and Sacramento's always near the top of the championship year after year. Monterey Bay trying to get in that mix with some of the best clubs in the championship and maybe the most noble. We've made some massive changes this year to try and get there.
Definitely the ambition, never in question for this Monterey Bay side. I'm going to see the signings that they've been able to get over the line. Sebastian Leggett, Montez now, Bill Barajas just came over as well. Players that have had a lot of success at every single stop of their career.
Monterey Bay push into the final third. And the shot is on and in! There's your go-ahead for Monterey Bay. Sebastian Leggett finishes the job, and the home side goes ahead. They've been so good at home, Monterey Bay. Are they on the verge of a massive upset? Monterey Bay 2, New Mexico 1.
We've continued to talk about that right-hand side of New Mexico's back line. Jake LaCava way too high, and when you leave Sebastian Leggett that much time and space, he's going to make you pay. Just the quality to get the wrong side of Zico Bailey and then to open up his hips and kiss this side net. It's a nightmare for a goalkeeper to defend because you're shading towards that near post, come across, and a bit of class from Leggett to give Monterey Bay the lead here in the second half.
The marquee signing, the Bay Area native, the way he pointed to the crest, the way he's celebrating, you know how much it means. Leggett has put Monterey Bay back in front at home. A familiar feeling, but can they finish this out? And a 4-game losing streak, and perhaps put them back on the path to trying to compete to get into the playoffs for the first time. Shakes gave that away cheaply. Leggett squares it off. That got blocked en route. Turning, Paul. The shot is turned away by Shakes. An enormous save from Chris Shakes. The momentum was swinging, oscillating wildly.
Just so good for Monterey Bay, continuing to force turnovers. But as Elijah Paul creates a little bit of separation, that is full extension from Shakes. Athleticism at its finest. But New Mexico, they need to be a lot cleaner when playing out of the back, giving the ball over really cheaply to this Monterey Bay side.
Corner for Monterey Bay. Couldn't deal with that off the turf. Glasgow got the assist. His 4th this year is on it again. Rolls that through. I don't think New Mexico's gotten a lot of favors from the field surface tonight either. Not that that explains how Monterey Bay has been all over them tonight. To be so close over those last 4 games. They've played the high-scoring 3-2 loss. They've played the low-scoring 1-0 loss. You name it, they've experienced it, particularly on the road. Can they get valuable insurance? Elliott over to Leggett. Leggett! That got blocked off the head of Keller. New Mexico totally out of sorts. Good give and go into the penalty area again. Across the face of goal, nobody home.
But just notice this back line of New Mexico. Gloucester is just so wide. There's about a 30-yard gap between the left back and the left center back. And now you have 3 New Mexico players getting caught to 1 player. You need to be a lot smarter. You need to be more efficient in terms of your spacing and your balance defensively for Dennis Sanchez. If not, you're going to continue to get punished by this Monterey Bay side.
You look down their bench, Tyler Blackett has only played in 5 games all season, your center back option. Dayon Harris could be an option at that right back position if you decide to lift LaCava. Salalem has plenty of experience all over. All laced across and sent away by New Mexico. I don't know what it is, but nice catch. For whatever reason, New Mexico just cannot seem to find the grip of the road in Seaside. It's been that way as long as these teams have matched up. Into the penalty area, flicked away by Reed Stephen, corner. Wild. God love this league. The bottom team in the West is absolutely giving New Mexico the business. The side with the most points available to them in the West. Leggett curling. Shake's got it away. Elliott arrives off of Gloucester. Can New Mexico start upfield? Quia, 2 changes, including the aforementioned Dayon Harris preparing to enter for New Mexico in a moment. Colin Wilkerson, the midfielder, as well. That'll bounce. Dalton's got it. Put his body on the line. Paul chips it ahead. Leggett. Ross arriving. It's Noel bringing it ahead. We're at the hour mark. What a stunner this would be. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay is up at halftime. A penalty from MD Myers over Orange County, which would be a massive blow in the Shield race. Rowdy's had about a month where they showed the chink in their armor, and as soon as everyone got a glimpse at it, that all-timer of a game against Louisville put them firmly back in control.
Well, Dominic Cachado has been able to squeeze out of that group. Just phenomenal.
We're going to get Wilkerson and Harris in now or have them wait. Elliott, who goes to work. The pride of Indiana University. Second team All-American in Bloomington. Hurst settles. Jet spots the run. The offside flag is raised. In the end, New Mexico is going to make 3 subs. They made one at halftime, so they'll have 1 remaining. Blackett, Harris, and Wilkerson coming in unison. That is Gloucester, LaCava, and Quia coming off.
Continue to talk about the 2 outside backs for New Mexico throughout this second half, struggling. And where does Dennis Sanchez elect to make subs at that exact position? LaCava, Gloucester had a really difficult time in terms of their spacing. So if you are Emma Island and Keller, now you need to communicate with Wilkerson and Blackett, saying you need to stay connected across this back 4. Emma Island is now going to push to this left back position. So now you need a little bit more compactness within your shape to just try to eliminate what we're seeing from Monterey Bay.
Blackett aligns at that left center back position. Over 10,000 minutes in the English Championship. Came up through Man United's academy and played 11 games in the Premier League for the first team for them. Good poke, and the foul suffered. You want to talk about going strength to strength. Jacob Montes is going to come off, and Fidel Barajas, the 2023 Championship Young Player of the Year, helped Charleston to the final, ended up making the transfer first Real Salt Lake. Then Chivas, he's a Mexican under 17 international, now 20 years old, coming on. Thoughts on Montes tonight?
I thought it was fantastic, right? We saw his quality in the assist, the ball that he threaded to Sebastian Leggett, but the ground coverage has been really, really good for Monterey Bay. It does seem like Fidel Barajas not letting onto the field. It took like Montes took too long to get on the field.
Those new IFAB rules that have come into effect.
So 10 seconds to get off the field.
Yep. So Montes took too long. It means they're going to hold Barajas for 1 full minute. Didn't really
like
feel
it. No.
I feel like I've watched 1,000 subs this year, and I don't think I've seen that rule actually utilized in a game I've been on. Striding into the path of the ball, the service, easy catch for Dalton. Seeks his first pro win tonight.
With Quia coming off for New Mexico, it's going to be a different look for Greg Hurst. He's going to play almost as a false 9, meaning he might drop in a little bit deeper, and then you get the verticality of Harris and Reed Steven. So once New Mexico breaks, notice Greg Hurst dropping to that half pocket, and then the wide parts will be the directness for Dennis Sanchez going forward.
Hey, Fidel Barajas is in the game. 15 in blue trots in. Ross, who starred for a number of years in El Paso and Sacramento, did not feature for the first time in a long time. He's a bit of a Iron Man kind of guy. He's out of the 18 last week, starts tonight. Elliott. Maybe. Blast from range, wide of Shakes. Let's take a look at the Best Western upcoming schedule. Union Omaha meets Richmond Kickers August 16th, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Richmond near the bottom of League One, Omaha at the top. And August 19th, back here, Phoenix and Colorado Springs. And then Orange County Tulsa looks like a doozy. August 22nd, 10 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete TV listings. Tulsa made the final last year. First in the Western Conference last year. Orange County entered the weekend first in the West this season. And they did so having to spend about 2 months on the road because the U.S. national team used OC Great Park, their venue, for their training camp during the World Cup as their host site.
And Orange County down 2-0 now. So Tampa Bay, Micheletto, the 60th minute.
Because that's what New Mexico fans want to hear. Marco Micheletto continues his goal-scoring escapades with Tampa Bay.
That's a foul. You need to call that if you are Mark Verso. Clear tug of the jersey.
My bigger problem is he can't view it, but the AR can. That's where the AR, I think, helps.
Take it a step further, Mike. That's why Jabane gets into the book.
Leggett. Support arriving from Ross. Leggett cleared off by Blackett. I hadn't heard of Kleinfeld Family Barbecue, but I can promise you, you and I are going to find our way to it.
You're paying?
No. Oh, that feels like a Jeremy Allen box fence to me. Circulated wide here, New Mexico trying to pull level again in front of goal, punched away by Dalton.
Hasn't had much to do, but Dalton's been really good when stepping off of his line, very decisive as a goalkeeper.
One touch too many. From behind and couldn't release it.
Mark Versal's actually calling it, seems to be a handball on Jabang. But that is a perfect example, again, of how disconnected New Mexico is. It is a 2v2 on the top line for Monterey Bay against the two center backs for New Mexico, and then Nick Ross covering a lot of ground, beating Jabang to the spot.
I think what's wild about it is you could say they were out of rhythm in their passing last game, but they've only allowed 2 goals in the last 5 games combined. This hasn't been a problem.
But Dennis Sanchez, yes, you can continue to survive and figure out ways to win, but this team just has too much talent to be playing this vulnerable over the course of 71 minutes here. And it started in that first half. A lot of times, Keller, Leinen were getting caught too wide. Outside backs really high. Need some leadership in that position just to keep things a little bit tighter as the season continues to progress.
Noel bagged his 3rd goal of the season back in the 6th minute. There were better times for New Mexico. Hamalainen. Over from Blackett. Noel. Touched ahead by Wilkerson. Trying to find a little space to get the crossway. Instead, back to Bailey. Monterey Bay equalized in the 32nd from Nakamura, and then Sebastian Leggett in the 55th to go ahead.
Such a clever finish to come across Zico Bailey, but then to open up his hips and almost use Kip Keller as a shield in front of Shakes. Bend it around the defender and kiss that side netting. The difference right now for Monterey Bay. Sebastian Leggett.
33 caps for the U.S. over a 5-year span. Captained the team for part of the 2021 CONCACAF Gold Cup. And this foul came right into your living room.
Leinen really lucky not to see yellow here. That's the 2nd challenge that we've had on this near side. Glosser earlier on the Leinen.
Run in by Reed Stephen. He got clattered. In Mexico, you could argue this is one of those games in hand, but what it really means is the last 3 months of the regular season, they're going to play 3 more games than everybody else, and that means they're going to be playing them in midweeks. This is an important game in part because they're trying to finish off. This laced across, met by Dalton, scooped up by Hurst, driven away by Paul. The team at the bottom of the table pile up those points knowing that the storm is still yet to come. They'll see Tulsa next Saturday. And then New Mexico will go to Loudoun in Virginia on the Saturday the 22nd. Midweek at home against Lexington. Midweek on the weekend against San Antonio. Their whole place in the table could shift rapidly. Seeking space, left across the face of going in. That's a lightning bolt. And Greg Hurst has pulled New Mexico even. A phenomenal goal for the 4th-year New Mexico man. New Mexico 2, Monterey Bay 2, with just over 15 minutes remaining.
Bit of brilliance from Greg Hurst, and we continue to talk about his evolving role that leads the line for New Mexico. Great little pick out here from Valentino Noel, but the first touch to slow himself down. Number one, allows him to set his feet, but also notice the back line for Monterey Bay. They continue to drop, and when you do that to Greg Hurst, he's gonna make you pay. Second touch to create separation, just bends it into this far post, and Alex Cavello and Monterey Bay extremely frustrated to give a player that quality, that look. 2-2.
You talk about his brain, the creativity of his finish. That was an artist at work. Greg Hurst has New Mexico even on the road in Seaside. Changes coming for Monterey Bay. Wesley Leggett and Quentin Elliott coming off in a double change. Will Garcia Jr. entering for Monterey Bay. And Diego Otoya, the 21-year-old San Franciscan and Peruvian international. Second window, second and third subs for Monterey Bay. Could New Mexico yet again find a way to win? They have been dominated analytically tonight. Nearly 3 expected goals for Monterey Bay, less than a half XG for New Mexico. And yet, and if you take nothing from this game, if you're New Mexico, this time next week, you could be beneath the playoff line. It's that tight right now in the West.
It's a neutral's dream. Every single game, week in and week out, expect the unexpected. The table's extremely tight, so every point matters. You see Reed Steven, fancy little footwork here. The pushback, and then simply pushes back, go to the ground. He's been really good since coming onto the field. Reed Steven giving New Mexico a different look in terms of his positioning high and wide. Opens up space centrally for Valentino Noel.
Noel goal, and he gets the assist on the Hurst goal. 2 of his 5 goal contributions this season have come tonight. Even up by Jabang, here's Noel. Noel! He's on fire tonight! He'll hang up and listen. New Mexico goes ahead 3-2.
Talk to the first half, you needed presence in between lines. Valentino Noel loved the aggressiveness to take a second, a third touch, and no one from a Monterey Bay backline engages. Why not? Head down, strikes directly through this ball, and this ball is moving. Dalton sees it a little bit late as it kisses off the turf. And a bit of quality for New Mexico. 2 goals and assists for Valentino Noel on the road. Phenomenal performance.
He's the man New Mexico wants on speed dial. 2 goals and an assist tonight for Valentino Noel.
It's something that is just so simple, Mike, but it's so effective. It's Jabang. He pulls in 2 Monterey Bay defenders, and then he splits the difference, and that is what allows Valentino Noel to take the space, to be aggressive, and eventually find the back of the net.
How crushing is this for Monterey Bay? New Mexico has found a way to go ahead in the final 15 minutes. Credit substitution-wise, they've taken more control of the game since they made the switches to the back line.
100%. It's been a little bit more connected, specifically at that outside back position, but it's also been the wide parts of the field that has made a difference. We haven't seen the effectiveness in terms of on-the-ball presence, but it's their spacing. Harris and Reed Steven, their heels are on the touchline, which now Monterey Bay needs to make a decision. Are they going to be expansive? Are they going to stay connected? If they do push wide, this man gets more space centrally.
And Noel leading ball, deflects down at the penalty spot. Dalton got enough. It did not find its way to the line. Monterey Bay fought their way back once. Can they possibly do it again?
Notice the left arm here from Dalton. Really good trailing arm to deny this man Jabang.
His second pro start and beaten twice from range.
Come on, guys, come on. Plenty of time.
That's away from Jabang, who now has an assist in each of the last 3 New Mexico road games. Started at Mercer and came out of Atlanta United's academy. Drafted to Montreal, was there for 2 years, but never really saw a lot of time. Dennis Sanchez wanted him in Las Vegas and was able to get him in on loan. Then brought him along to New Mexico. Absolutely no lead in this league has been safe for months. Corner, Keller, now Jabang. Could have inserted the dagger right there.
Actually overjumps this, Jabang. Kip Keller doing a good job at winning the initial ball, heads it back into traffic. But notice how high he gets, unable to head the ball down.
New Mexico finished 5th last year, ended up reaching the Western Conference Final. Fell the way everyone fell to Tulsa in the dying minutes of whatever game they were a part of.
New Mexico, Greg Hurst having a word with Mark Versal, saying it should be a pen. Just picks the pocket. Certainly is a little bit of contact, but would have been harsh to point to 12 yards out, in my opinion.
Ball got a little sticky there, Hurst. Looks to force Monterey Bay out the other side. Garcia. Blackett intervened. Little things like that from Kip Keller, right? A lot of talk about how leadership changes when some of the biggest names in a club's history, and for New Mexico, you're 8 years in, you're at that point where the OGs start to fold out of the team, and now you need to find new players to take that role on and off the field. Blackett, experienced guy, but new to the U.S., and Kip Keller's been around this block a number of times. 26-year-old who came in on loan last year and shows good quality as a leader. Was with Dennis Sanchez in Austin 4 years ago.
It also shows you how big of a piece Ryden was at that center back position for New Mexico. Not only his play, but the standard he continued to set, holding players accountable. And that was a point of emphasis in our conversation with Dennis Sanchez, saying, look, it's not going to look the same. Obviously, players are different personalities, but the most important thing is that there are leaders in their own rights on this roster. Ezekiel Bailey was a player that he highlighted as well. Jabang, Keller. And again, 84 minutes hasn't been pretty whatsoever for New Mexico, but right now they have found a way to keep himself in this game. Have a go-ahead goal.
Would be pretty, would be their first ever win in Seaside. I don't think they'll be stopping in wine country before they leave, but I'd imagine they could toast a good result, even if the performance felt a bit unbecoming. 6 minutes to ensure that feeling. Good deflection. I think Elijah Paul ran out of gas about 5 minutes ago.
We'll talk about leadership. This is an opportunity for Monterey Bay and Alex Cabello to look around and see who's going to step up and shoulder some of this responsibility. The momentum definitely has going back in the favor of New Mexico. The game has calmed down and plays into the type of coach that Dennis Sanchez is. So how do you continue to turn the tide and make it a little bit more frantic? Need more out of the subs that have came onto the field.
Play on.
Really good ball.
Big pocket of space to run into for Leggett. Dishes outside to Otoya. Dancing forward. Barajas, tricky player, kept that alive as long as he could. Got shielded to the line. That's Jabang again.
But notice how much more connected, and we continue to talk about it, New Mexico is. Right there, the gaps between players, about 5 yards. Jabang dropping deeper, Ezekiel Bailey now, Hemelainen's in the picture. And then shakes a recognition from the goalkeeper to come out and help. Really well done from New Mexico.
And you might go, well, New Mexico has the lead. They had the lead in the 6th minute, and they were still playing this
100%.
wildly gappy. Turning the corner, Dayon Harris. Harris trying to go all the way. Harris scores! Dayon Harris may have just secured all 3 points for New Mexico in Seaside for the very first time. From a goal down, New Mexico, 3 unanswered. New Mexico United 4, Monterey Bay 2.
The subs that Dennis Sanchez has brought onto this field have changed the game in its entirety. Harris has given you the directness and the ability to run downhill, but notice the balance here. Right, to set his feet, and then as Nick Ross unable to close down the space, to just simply pick up his head, it's a pass into that far post. Good composure and a really clever finish from Harris to give New Mexico some breathing room here on the road.
Last season's comeback player of the year. They have shot any comeback hopes right out of the air for Monterey Bay. An 87th minute insurance goal for Dayon Harris. Monterey Bay has made a couple changes. They've brought on Stuart Ritchie and Eduardo Blancas, although it may feel too little too late now. Notably, they left Nico Gordon out of the team, captain of the side. And it's Belmar Joseph, the only player who will go unused, as Monterey Bay has now used all 5 subs. It was Glasgow and Nakamura who came off for Monterey Bay. New Mexico wants more. They've got a striker waiting to enter, and they've got the yellow shirts flying forward. And it looks like New Mexico is going to get help from Tampa Bay at the top of the standings as well. Maybe not in the larger shield race, but in the West. Paul Keller didn't handle that well. Paul Keller got there. Domineering challenge. Maintain the 2-goal advantage. Tampa Bay up 2-0 on Orange County elsewhere would put them 7 points clear of Orange County, 8 points clear of Charleston Battery. The 2 closest competitors for the Players' Shield. New Mexico with a win here would move on to 30 points, 4 back of Orange County with 3 games in hand. Flag is up, this is offside. While Monterey Bay would remain firmly beneath the line. It'll be 11 away with 10 remaining.
Really good 1v1 defending from Keller. Leaves his feet at the right time, needs to get it right.
This will be it for Greg Hurst. What a goal he scored. And what a time to score it. 74th minute to pull this game even. Then watch Noel and Harris provide the go-ahead and the insurance. Justin Renix, the 5th and final sub for New Mexico.
We continue to talk about Greg Hurst and how good he is for New Mexico and what he does. Point of emphasis here today, the amount of times he dropped in, not only just to get on the ball, but just to be a decoy and pull out space for a good run here for Harris.
Harris offers the cross, back post, and New Mexico's got 5. Reed Stephen, the finish. And New Mexico United piles 4 unanswered on Monterey Bay.
Completely different team in this last 15 minutes for New Mexico. The game has slowed down and they've been really progressive. Again, it's Valentin Noel pulling the strings, but I love this first time ball from Harris. Backline can't drop quick enough. The goalkeeper can't step up quick enough. And the only player that can get on the end of it, it's Reed Stephen. It's a flawless ball from Harris. The 2 subs linking up. And New Mexico rolling to end this match.
I think Reed Stevens going to get a letter in the mail. 90+1 goal. And 5-2 New Mexico with 4 minutes remaining. Wow. The Barbados international who's bagged a goal every other game on the international stage. All league at South Georgia Tormenta last year. 20 goal contributions. His 3rd goal of this championship season. His 1st year in the 2nd division. And I think we're about signed, sealed, delivered now. Remarkable. You don't know when goal difference will come into play, but worth noting that goal now sees New Mexico to the highest goal difference in the Western Conference.
25 goals scored in 2026 for New Mexico right now. But the last 20 minutes, it's what you and I expected out of New Mexico, right? The ability to break through pressure, be comfortable with the ball at their feet, move together, stay connected, and be extremely clinical when they do get higher up the field. Took a little bit, but once they settled in and really felt comfortable to get in a rhythm, almost unstoppable for Dennis Sanchez and company.
Well, it looked a little bit tenuous.
It did.
About 25 minutes ago. Fell behind to the bottom team in the West. Dennis Sanchez, the coach for New Mexico, warned this team not to overlook Monterey Bay. They hadn't earned that right in this venue. New Mexico playing just their 16th game, fewest in the league. All those games in hand are fine, but they aren't points in the bank. And they'll host Tulsa in a major game next week. Those teams, Tulsa and New Mexico, side by side in the standings before a 3-game week that includes 5th place Lexington, San Antonio, who are above New Mexico by 2 points. It's going to be 2 weeks that very well could decide how many home games you're playing at the Lab.
That game against Tulsa, you mentioned the importance of it, but Tulsa coming off of a loss right today against Detroit City at home. So you know there's going to be a response needed for Luke Spencer and company.
Final minute now. The last time New Mexico piled 5 goals in a game, you'd need to go back to May 25th, 2022. The day Christian Navas scored his first pro goal for New Mexico United, a 7-0 drubbing of Phoenix Rising. A game in which Phoenix debuted 6 academy players just to field a roster. It's become a real touch point between those teams. 5 goals for New Mexico, 4 in the final 20 minutes. A come-from-behind win for Dennis Sanchez and New Mexico, and their first ever win in Seaside.
The ability to grind out yet another result for New Mexico and Dennis Sanchez. Continue to talk about the lack of effort, lack of quality in that first 45 minutes and the majority of the second half. But this team has quality, they have heart, and once they figure it out, they are a weapon in the Western Conference.
Shakes and New Mexico celebrate a first half that looked totally out of character. But by the end of the game, Alex Cavello and Monterey Bay felt that all too familiar feeling. New Mexico a 5-2 win. Post game coming up. A minute. Hey, Valentin, appreciate you making time. It's Mike and Ricky in the booth. We're in a commercial break right now. We'll be back in about a minute. Congrats on the win, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll be with you in a sec.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No. The USL on CBS Sports presented by Best Western. Dennis Sanchez said his team was a bit out of rhythm in that last game. Perhaps you could say the same for the first 60 minutes tonight. But in the end, the big guns come out, a 5-2 win, and Valentin Noel joins us coming off his first ever 3-goal contribution game in the championship. It's Mike Watson, Ricky Lopez, Espen from the booth. What was that last 30 minutes for your group? We hear about ways to win. What did you guys find late in this game to come away with all 3 points?
I mean, we found goals. Sorry, I appreciate it. All right, you'll be with us. You'll be with us. Familiar 3. 1, 2, 3. I mean, you just have an answer. You know, like what a group we have. Yeah, like we struggle a little bit. Monterey is a good team. You know, it doesn't matter the rankings in the Western Conference. They you know, with their shape, with that 3-2-2-3, they cause us problem with the man marking as well. The turf is not easy to play on, and you know, it took us grit. It took us this mindset, try to figure it out, and we were deadly when it mattered the most. And yeah, we just kept coming. You know, what we work at practice during the week, it's just, you know, it feels good to see that, you know, after during the game, that, you know, what we do during the week, you know, you see it in the game, and in such manner, like, no, it's like, I can't even explain like how I feel right now. It's great.
Valentin, talk to me about you specifically, because it seemed like in that first half you're running all over the field. Second half you found success when you played centrally in between the lines. So what changed in terms of your positioning to give your side the success that you found?
I mean, I feel like it takes also like the fluidity that we have with Zico and Usman. Because us three know, you know, we have a plan, and we know when to take the other player's space. In the first half, we try to be a little more vertical, and so whenever you do it once, you do it twice, you do it 3 times, you do it 4 times. I think it kind of it makes the defense and the back line tired, and I think it opens more spaces for in the second half. You know, once you do it 4, 5, 6 times, maybe the 7th, maybe the 8th, maybe the 9th, then it doesn't follow you, and that's the one when you're a killer. So like, I think that's what happened a little bit many times. We stick to the plan, we dig when we needed to dig. Shakes came out first half, keeping us at 1-1 at half was huge. You know, it took everybody.
Val, you scored, and then you seemed to answer a call. Who was on the phone, and why'd you hang up?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
The goal celebration. You seem to be taking a call there. Who was on the phone? Why'd you hang up?
No, sorry. It's a cool celebration I've seen, but no, I'm a huge fan of Antoine Griezmann. So whenever he does the hotline bling, that's what I love to do, because I love the player.
I love it, man. Congratulations on the win and a great performance, and all the best moving forward. Hotline bling, you know what it is. Take a look at the full-time highlights. You know, you would think maybe New Mexico was going to hang up on Monterey Bay in the first 10 minutes of this game. They shock them on a set piece.
And you thought, especially with this transitional moment, New Mexico was going to be rolling, but it was actually Monterey Bay for the next hour of this game that was the better side. Montez doing a good job at releasing Nakamura, but the quick trigger here is just phenomenal from Nakamura, unable to allow Shakes to come across. Sebastian Lletget gets involved in the fun. Notice how he cuts across Zico Bailey and then uses Kip Keller almost as a shield to find that far post, but you knew
New Mexico with the quality that they have, specifically Greg Hurst, but this is his first touch. Sets him up, the back line drops off. When you give a player that much time and space, he's gonna make you pay. And then Dennis Sanchez goes into his bench, and who does he bring in? He brings in players that will stretch the game vertically and width and allow Valentino Well to get his second goal contribution in this match.
And then in the 86th minute, started piling goals up and ensuring Monterey Bay had no chance at a comeback tonight.
Two subs linking up here. This is Zayon Harris doing a really good job at coming into the interior and then the verticality from one side of the field to the other. Good pick out from Valentino Well. Good early ball from Harris. Reed Steven finds it back the net. And New Mexico turned this game around and pick up a big 3 points on the road.
So New Mexico hangs on to third place and still very much on track to compete at the top of the West. 5-2 winners tonight. Our next USL on CBS match, August 19th, Phoenix and Colorado Springs, here on CBS Sports Network. Coming up next, UFC Ultimate Knockouts. For Ricky Lopez, Aspen, our entire crew, Mike Watts saying this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports.